Hey guys, let's get more news about Miami Heat, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Heat's Tyler Herro get more respect than Celtics star in NBA power rankings. Tyler Herro has spent his career pining for more respect. He's openly lobbied to start for the Miami Heat and declared his goal of being named an All-Star. Herro has long established himself as a starter and, this season, earned his first All-Star selection. Now, that respect is starting to arrive, so much so that he's considered one of the top 50 players in the league and ranks ahead of last season's Finals MVP. In FanSided's NBA 99 player rankings, Herro was listed as the league's 38th best player, 8 spots ahead of Boston Celtics star Jaylen Brown, who came in at 46. Here's more from FanSided's Quinn Everts. Tyler Herro has never gotten a fair reputation around the NBA. Okay, maybe no one said that last one, but as the Heat's top option with Jimmy Butler out of the picture, Herro has blossomed into an all-around threat. The former Kentucky Wildcats star is a perfect example of trusting your talent, believing in what you can be. He's steadily improved throughout his career, and he can now add a new label to the list, All-Star. No Jack Harlow cosign necessary. Herro is posting career highs in points, 24, assists, 5.7, rebounds, 5.5, three-point makes, 3.6, free throw attempts, 4.4, and field goal percentage, 46.1. So, yeah, he's become an all-around offensive player. Meanwhile, Brown's numbers have dipped from last year. He's averaging 22.9 points while shooting his lowest percentage, 46.4, since his rookie season. But last year's NBA Finals MVP remains a very good player, and these rankings might not have been entirely fair to him. Worth noting that I was part of creating these rankings and I lobbied for Brown to be a bit higher, but not higher than Herro. Here's what FanSided's Ian Levy wrote about Brown, and you can always come back to the basics: reliable 20-point-per-game scorer and secondary creator, reasonably solid three-point shooter, good defender, unimpeachable motor, fantastic finisher, and a player who, at age 28, continues to make noticeable improvements on some of his biggest weaknesses. Don't miss the forest for the trees. Brown is a very, very good basketball player. I agree that Brown is still a very good basketball player who may have taken his foot off the regular season gas after last year's finals run. But this is more about Herro, who has undeniably been better than Brown this season. Ditto for Bam Adebayo, by the way, who was ranked as the league's 32nd best player. Here's more from Everts. Adebayo continues to make a name for himself by doing all the dirty work Miami requires of him. It's seldom flashy, but it's always productive for the Heat big man, who lives near the top of all defensive efficiency metrics you can think of. Adebayo isn't quite the player who you build a team around, but he's an irreplaceable part of team building. A pretty good description of Bam, if you ask me. In case you were wondering, Jimmy Butler comes in one spot ahead of Adebayo at 31. I have a feeling he might rank higher if we were to do these rankings again after his recent run in Golden State. But the takeaway here is that the Heat have two of the best 50 players in the league to revamp the roster around in the post-Butler era. Adding one more top player, maybe someone ranked 7, could be what the Heat need to reopen their championship window. Dwayne Wade admits what offended him during tenure with Heat. Dwayne Wade spent 15 years with the Miami Heat and is considered an icon of the franchise. But that doesn't mean he always saw eye to eye with the team. In fact, there was one move from the front office that really upset Wade, and he is being honest about it now years later. According to Wade, the team's decision to pay Hassan Whiteside before him while they pursued Kevin Durant rubbed him the wrong way. They wanted to go after Kevin Durant. We had Hassan Whiteside, a player that came out of the G League, had a great year, and was up for $100 million. I'm sitting here like, I want young fella to get his money, but y'all about to pay him over me? Take care of me first. Then, let's take care of young fella. Because I've shown it. I've proven it. This is proven. And they didn't do it. They didn't get Kevin Durant either, Wade said, per NBA Central. It's not often that Wade publicly speaks about any qualms he had with the Heat, so it's interesting to see him admit how his incident bothered him. At the time of this move, Wade was the centerpiece of the Heat, which is why he felt he deserved to get paid before Whiteside did. But the team was attempting to do a few things at once. They wanted to keep Wade and Whiteside but also add more talent like Durant. That was a very tricky proposition, and it required a lot of moving pieces and big paydays. Perhaps the Heat felt they had earned Wade's loyalty, and that is why they paid Whiteside first. This was not a great moment for Wade, but it ultimately didn't hurt his relationship with the team because he ended up retiring with them, remains a fan favorite, and is still close with the organization. No NBA relationship is perfect, and this statement from Wade is proof of that. Dwayne Wade was offended by $100 million Miami Heat decision. The Miami Heat recently traded Jimmy Butler to the Golden State Warriors after failing to agree a contract extension over the summer. This is not the first time that the franchise have parted ways with a legend towards the end of his career, though. Not many people will know that better than Dwayne Wade, who won 3 championships with the Heat. Everyone in the organization's history. Wade would join the Chicago Bulls in 2016 after failing to agree on an extension with the Heat. Later, he would sign with the Cleveland Cavaliers to reunite with former teammate LeBron James before ultimately returning to Miami to end his legendary career where it needed to happen. Wade clearly did not agree with some decisions that the Heat made towards the end of his career. One of them was handing Hassan Whiteside a mega contract over him. As reported by Hoops Hype, while speaking on the Underground Lounge, Wade said, "They wanted to go after Kevin Durant. We had Hassan Whiteside, a player that came out of the G League, had a great year, and was up for $100 million. I'm sitting here like, I want young fella to get his money, but y'all about to pay him over me? Take care of me first. Then, let's take care of young fella. Because I've shown it. I've proven it. This is proven." And they didn't do it. They didn't get Kevin Durant either. Of course, Whiteside enjoyed one of the most remarkable rises in NBA history. In the summer of 2016, he re-signed with the Heat on a 4-year, $98 million contract. In the process, Whiteside became the first player in NBA history to go from a league minimum salary to a max-level contract. Whiteside would go on to play 3 more seasons for the Heat before being traded to the Portland Trail Blazers. In hindsight, it would have been great to see Wade spend his entire career with the Heat, but he did not do anything special after leaving Miami either. And you, fan? What do you think of Dwayne Wade's situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.